Welcome to the course on how to set and achieve any goal. According to Anthony Robbins, a renowned life coach and speaker, success and happiness can be found by meeting certain needs that are fundamental to human beings. He concludes that there are 6 core needs which influence the daily impact of our physical, mental, emotional, social, and our spirit. The 6 needs he found are variety, certainty, significance, connection, growth, and contribution.
There are also 6 fundamental needs that everyone has in common, and all behavior is simply an attempt to meet those 6 needs. Number 1. Certainty. It's our need to feel in control and to know what's coming next so we can feel secure. It's the need for basic comfort, the need to avoid pain and stress, and also to create pleasure. The higher the need for certainty, the less risk you'll be willing to take or emotionally bear. Number 2. Uncertainty. Let me ask you a question. Do you like surprises? If you answered yes, you're kidding yourself. You like the surprises you want. The ones you don't want, you call problems. But you still need them to put some muscle in your life. You can't grow muscle or character unless you have something to push back against. Number 3. Significance. We all need to feel important, special, unique, or needed. Some people will pursue this need by competing with others, or by destroying and tearing down those around them. Others may try to fulfill this need by achieving big goals like earning millions or distinguishing themselves with a PhD, or through connection with other human beings. Number 4. Love and connection. The 4th basic need is love and connection. Love is the oxygen of life. It's what we all want and need most. When we love completely, we feel alive. But when we lose love, the pain is so great that most people settle on connection, the crumbs of love. You can get that sense of connection or love through intimacy, or friendship, or walking in nature, or maybe getting a pet. These first 4 needs are what I call the needs of the personality. We all find ways to meet these, whether by working harder, coming up with a big problem, or creating stories to rationalize them. The last 2 are the needs of the spirit. These are more rare. Not everyone meets these. When these needs are met, we truly feel fulfilled. Number 5. Growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. If a relationship is not growing, if a business is not growing, if you're not growing, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank, how many friends you have, how many people love you, you're not going to experience real fulfillment. And the reason we grow, I believe, is so we have something of value to give. Number 6. Contribution. Corny as it may sound, the secret to living is giving. Life's not about me, it's about we. Think about it. What's the first thing you do when you get good or exciting news? You call someone you love and share it. Sharing enhances everything you experience. Life is really about creating meaning, and meaning does not come from what you get. It comes from what you give. Ultimately, it's not what you get that will make you happy long term, but rather who you become and what you contribute will. Understanding these needs, and which ones you're trying to meet in any given moment, can help you create new patterns that lead to lasting fulfillment.
You act out these needs, whether you're in awareness or not. Most people desire to be successful and happy, though they remain at the wish level. The wish never comes to life because they do not know that they're even allowed to dream and dream big and to achieve greater things. We have good news for you. You have been created to be extraordinary. You can achieve anything you want if you know how. Let us find out how you can set and achieve any goal. The purpose of this course is to teach you to set empowering goals and take the steps necessary towards its attainment. You will become more intentional about your success and happiness and will, for the rest of your life, set and achieve worthy goals. Upon completion of this course, you will have gained the skill to design the life you want and achieve the success you desire. Secondly, the purpose to let your life goals guide and determine your actions and inactions daily. In this course, you will delve deep into what a goal is, the purpose of setting goals. Elle Nightingale, an author and motivational speaker, writes that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. For you to be successful then requires a worthy goal. Let's get started. Lesson number 1. What is a goal? For the purpose of this course, a goal is something you intend to do or that you wish to attain. Greg Reed, a best-selling author, writes that a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dreams come true. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, states that a goal is a dream with a deadline. Let's answer the question. If you can achieve anything in this world without restrictions, what would it be? It will take all of 30 seconds. Get your writing materials, and the 30 seconds starts now. You may be wondering what the difference between mission, vision, values, goals are, right? You may think of a mission as why you exist or what you do, a declaration of your reason for being. A vision is what you want to be, a description of a desired future. It inspires you and creates a specific picture with the end in mind. Values are what is important to you and you believe in. It guides your decision-making progress. Goals are what you must achieve to get you to your desired end. Goals are specific and breaks down your vision, mission into manageable pieces. Does it sound exciting enough to design your life on your own terms? Let's take a moment to write down your learning before we continue. Lesson number 2. Why it is important to set goals. As human beings, we like to feel comfortable and to feel safe, and the mind has been structured to help us to feel safe. However, in our comfort zone, there is no growth. So for you to move from your comfort zone to your growth zone, you must take certain steps to build your confidence, to make sure that you're giving yourself zero excuses to act and be affected by other people's opinions. Then you move from the fear zone to your learning zone, which means that you're always finding a way. There's no problem that is too big for you. You're continuously learning and developing new skills as you're doing right now, and therefore pushing yourself into your growth zone, which ensures that you're finding purpose, you're living out your dreams, you're setting goals, and you're conquering your objectives. You are more confident when you have goals. People may call you names, but it's only because they wish to be like you. You are admired and stand out from the crowd. Your friends hold you in high esteem, even if they do not agree with you. You were born to stand out, so take the bold step to uncover and to live your uniqueness.
Have you ever had a goal you couldn't complete? Well, chances are it wasn't a SMART goal. You see, SMART goals have 3 main characteristics. They're easy to understand, they're achievable, and they have a clear point of success. So let's break that down. SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant to your overall aims, and they are time-bound. But that in itself doesn't mean much to you, so why don't we use that with a specific scenario or goal? A common goal that many people have is they want to be rich. So let's take a look at that one. Now, I want to be rich has a couple of basic issues. Firstly, how do I know when I've won? How do I know when I'm rich? What is rich anyway? Rich means a lot of things to a lot of different people. And lastly, by when? When am I intending to be rich? The goal, I want to be rich, isn't complete yet. It's still in its very early stages. So let's use the SMART acronym to turn I want to be rich into a real goal. So the first thing to use here is the S, or specific. Now for specific, we use the 5 W's. That is who, what, when, where, and why. And that allows us to really break down the goal into its core component parts. So let's get started with that. The first one is who. Well, in this case, it's me. I want to be rich. So that's that. The next one is what. Well, rich isn't specific enough, so let's break it down a little bit. For me personally, I think that to be rich, I need to have $5 million in my bank account. So I'm going to say $5 million. You might want to pick a higher or a lower number. That's up to you. The next one is when. Well, I'd like to have that $5 million by the time I turn 50. So I'm going to choose by the time before I turn 50. I'm a little sensitive about it, so I'm not going to tell you how old I am right now, but suffice it to say the when for me is before I turn 50. Where, in this particular instance, doesn't really matter because I'm going to be working in various places. Depending on your goal, though, the where may become important. And lastly, we have why. Please don't skip over why. It becomes really important later on. In this case, I want to have $5 million before I turn 50 because 50 is when I would like to retire. So now if you take a look at that, just that, we've got I want to be rich versus we now know that it's me, it's $5 million, it's before I turn 50, the where doesn't matter, and why am I doing it? So that I can retire. Already this goal is starting to look a little bit better, and we've only done the S. So let's move on now to measurable. The reason we have measurable is because we need to know where the finish line is. We need to know when we've completed the goal. All right. So let's take a look at why. Let's imagine that as a boss, I say to you, okay, look, I want you to keep running in this race until you win. Just run until you win. And you pass a milestone, and you're thinking, okay, have I finished yet? Am I done? And you pass another milestone, and you don't know when you win until you see the finish line. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that a goal isn't a good goal until there is a finish line. And in a SMART goal, the finish line must either be a true or false, it must be a yes or a no, or it needs to be a number. Because only with a true or false, yes or a no, or a number, does that work like a finishing line. And so in this case, we've got $5 million. $5 million is a number. If I've got $4,999,999 in the account, well then I haven't achieved my goal. The moment I get that extra dollar and I've got $5 million, then I know I've passed my goal. So that is measurable and it gets the tick of approval. All right, after measurable, we have attainable. For me personally, I feel that $5 million is attainable. However, you may feel that it's not and might want to set a lower number, or some people might say it's a bit too low, and so they might want to set it a little bit higher. The reason we have attainable is so that you don't lose the motivation for a goal. For example, let's say you have a staff member and you say to them, look, I want you to make $1 million worth of sales this month. Well, if they're only selling products worth $50 and they're not sort of selling on the internet via mass marketing, that may be a completely impossible goal, and so they'll ignore it. It's not a real goal. In this case though, $5 million by the time I turn 50, I think it's attainable, and so we give it the tick. The next one is relevant. The relevant is why I asked you to make sure that you do include the why in the 5 W's. Relevant means that this SMART goal fits into the overall reason that you're doing this. So in this case, we've got, why do I want $5 million? Well, I want that $5 million so that I can retire. All right. And so in this case, yes, $5 million is relevant to my overall sort of goal or aim of retiring. So for example, if I had have said that I want to have a Ferrari so that I can retire, well, that doesn't work because that's not really relevant to me retiring. That's relevant to something else. It still could be a SMART goal, but in this case, $5 million is far better because getting $5 million is actually relevant to me wanting to retire. So in this case, that's a big fat yes. Next, we have time bound. Well, as stated before, we're going to make it by the time I'm 50 so that I can retire. So yes, it is time bound. So if you take a look at that now, we've got a whole bunch of the good stuff. And I can now take the goal of I want to be rich, and using those elements, I can turn it into I want to have $5 million by the time I'm 50 years old so that I can retire. And that is a far better goal than the goal of I want to be rich, which I think we can all agree isn't that fantastic in the light of our new SMART goal. All right, so just to be very clear, SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant to your overall goals and aims, and they are time-bound. And that, in a nutshell, is a SMART goal.
Yay, you did it! Let us take a few minutes to do a recap. In this course, we have sought to provide you with skills in setting and achieving any goal. To be happy and successful requires that you're more intentional about your choices in life, and there is no better time than now to do so. You begin with the end in mind. Know and live your values, your mission and vision, and achieve worthy goals. It's time for your gem step. A gem step is an assignment that impacts your daily choices and takes you closer to your goals. Before that, take a moment to outline your own learnings. All it should take is 30 seconds. Now the gem step. Reinvent yourself daily. Commit to reviewing your progress daily. Remove obstacles from your way. Refrain from blaming others for your failures. Remain focused yet gentle on yourself and your dreams. Design a one-pager to put it all together. You know we love you and would love to hear from you. So take a moment to send us a message. Thank you ever so much for spending this time with us. Until we meet again, remember, we're here to cheer you on to greatness.